Good afternoon, Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rotary Club meeting, Plano West Rotary Club. This is Tuesday, September 7th, noon. Thank you very much for being our guest today. I'm going to turn this over to our past president, Sergeant of Arms, Steve Lawton. Take it away, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Welcome back, everybody. I think we're all maybe in a Labor Day hangover or something today. Anyway, we're moving slugishly. Start out with some brags. Marty James, would you like to brag?
Mute.
There, can you hear me now?
James? Yep.
Okay, terrific. Hi. Well, my brag is that today is my husband and my 36th wedding anniversary.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I still like him.
My experience has been is my wife still loves me, but she does not always like me.
I'm sure that's not true.
Well, Sean, would you like to brag this morning?
I went to my granddaughter's other grandmother, and I took her to see Shenyun on Sunday, and then we went out for dinner, and then we had yogurt, and we just had a wonderful grandparent-granddaughter day.
That's awesome. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Greek Isles, would somebody at Greek Isles like to brag?
Well, I like that slowly the highs for the day are going down, I think.
Yes, sir.
If you look at over the last, couple of weeks and you look ahead the next week, I know you owning Total Air, that maybe not be such a big issue, but for me, I'm excited about that. And I'm looking forward to it a little bit more. I love the fall. That's my favorite time of year. So I kind of watch that. Try to stick away the 98s and 100s.
Yeah. My mom used to remind me on my birthday, I was born on September 25th, that it was 100 degrees in 1953 on September 25th. So I'll make that my brag. Anybody else at Greek Isles?
Lisa's back.
Mayor Muns, would you like to brag about it or anything?
That's not a brag. You've been gone for a month in Mexico, so your brag is not that you're back, right?
I would brag, but that would take away my presentation, so I might as well just save it for a little later.
All right.
I have a brag. This is Catherine.
Okay.
I've been trying to get our Barron PTA off the ground, get those parents back to school since they haven't been able to come to school this last school year. And I'm so excited that now I have another parent who signed up to be secretary. And she said to me that I heard that you don't even have a child at this school and yet you're still doing PTA. So I think that I am inspired by that need to do that. So I'm really excited.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
We need that.
Michael, good. Would you like to brag today?
Okay, yes, we are technologically capable today. I'm excited.
Thank you, sir. Jamie Jackson, would you like to brag?
Sure. I'll be joining the Plano ISD School Advisory Board, helping out on the CTE board, and so I'm excited about that and hopefully being able to bring some new ideas there.
That sounds awesome. How about Antonio? Would you like to brag, being the host? I don't always pick on you. Would you like to brag about something?
Sure. I'll brag real quick. So, I love eating meat, and I just got some grass-fed liver and some grass-fed chuck roast. And I put that in the grinder, 20% liver, 80% chuck roast, and I'm super excited to try it.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah, because liver's really, really good for you. So I'm like
Yes, sir.
excited for the health benefits. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's super cheap too. Liver's $4
I
per
can
pound.
tell everybody's not on board with that.
Go ahead.
But yeah,
You know, we get a lot of comments that we're trying to eat here and you're talking about this.
Yeah.
Alex, to you is 12:05.
Hey, thank you very much, Mr. Lawton, and thank you everybody for sharing brags. What I'd like to do now is ask LaShawn to lead us in prayer.
If you'll pray with me, please. Lord, we thank you for this time, for this opportunity to come together. Thank you for blessing us to be able to come together and share our gifts with one another and to work together and network to be able to take those gifts back out into the community. We ask that you would bless this time together, bless the words and all that we share today. And we pray that you would continue to bless our club, bless those across our world who have special needs, Lord. And we just pray that we would be found doing that you've called us to do. In Jesus' name we pray and thank you for all things. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Well, now we're going to ask our world traveler, Lisa Leach, will you lead us in the pledge?
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, we have a number of guests and you guys get to witness one of the most important aspects of a Rotary Club is the ability of voting and then inducting new members into Rotary International. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to vote on 3 applicants. Everybody's been contacting them over the last couple weeks. Michael Cook, Kayla Stovall, and Jamie Jackson, getting to know them. I apologize for leaving the L off your name, Kayla. That's bad on me. But everybody's been able to get to know them over the last couple weeks and volunteer with them as well as talk on the phone. So appreciate that. What we're going to do now is have the vote. So I understand I am the one that's in control of it. So for those online, as you know, we're going to put up a Zoom poll that's going to give the ability of voting for all 3. Obviously, Kayla, Michael, and Jamie don't vote because we're voting on you. Marty, you're a visitor. No. Yes, because you've been a visitor for so long, I keep on thinking you're a member. Visitor, volunteering, so which is great that you continue to visit us, but you can't vote either. Stephen, you can't vote. And then at Greek Isles, everybody there except for Mayor Muns, I believe. So
We have Caleb here too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Hi, Caleb. You're right next to Glenn. So Glenn will manage the in-person votes and I will put out the poll right now. So be ready. Yes. See, Antonio got your name right, Caleb. Yay him. So if everybody could quickly go ahead and do your votes online. Come on, we need some more voters here. Okay, I think we're good. Awesome. Well, Glenn, how are we looking locally?
Yeah, all 6 unanimous, yes.
Woo! And unanimous online. So Michael, Kayla, and Jamie, you have all been unanimously voted into the Plano West Rotary Club. Well, this next step that I do is separate inductions. And so I'm actually going to do the induction in order of applications. So right now I am looking at you, Michael. This is everybody else is in observance. And you've seen this before. And so this is now your opportunity to be inducted into the Rotary Club of Plano West. So Michael Cook, you have been proposed for membership and the club has elected you. Therefore, it is my pleasure to induct you into the Rotary Club of Plano West. I understand you are aware of Rotary's requirements and will follow them. You have offered your services to assist your fellow Rotarians in their community and international projects. As you know, Rotary is a service club, each member performing what Rotary terms as service above self. Besides service, you will have the benefit of powerful bonds of friendship with fellow Rotarians locally and worldwide. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the four-way test, which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. When you travel, you will have the special opportunity to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. This is another rewarding benefit of your membership. And now, by the power vested in me as president of the Rotary Club of Plano West, I virtually pin this Rotary emblem on you and declare you to be an active member of this Rotary Club. Welcome to Rotary, Michael. We all look forward to the enrichment of our lives and your own by your association in the world's oldest, largest, and finest service organization, Rotary International. Welcome to the family, Michael. Okay, next, I'm going to speak to Kayla. And Kayla, if you guys remember, Kayla's actually been part of this Rotary Club, what, 10 years now, Kayla? I think, don't we go back to when you were probably freshman, sophomore in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kayla is a veteran of Rotary and for Plano West Rotary Club. So this is a great honor that you have joined our family. So Kayla Stovall, you have been proposed for membership and the club has elected you. Therefore, it is my pleasure to induct you into the Rotary Club of Plano West. I understand you are aware of Rotary requirements and will follow them. You have offered your services to assist your fellow Rotarians in their community and international projects. As you know, Rotary is a service club, each member performing what Rotary terms as service above self. Besides service, you will have the benefit of powerful bonds of friendship with fellow Rotarians locally and worldwide. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the four-way test, which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. When you travel, you have the special opportunity to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. Now, Kayla's done this already, but she'll be able to tell us her adventures as you guys get to know her. And as you know, this is another rewarding benefit of your membership. By now, by the power vested in me as president of the Rotary Club of Plano West, I pin this Rotary emblem on you virtually and declare you to be an active member of this Rotary Club. Welcome to Rotary, Kayla. You've been in Rotary already. You transferred to our club, so welcome to Plano West Rotary. We all look forward to the enrichment of our lives and your own by your association in the world's oldest, largest, and finest organization, Rotary International.
Thanks, Alex.
Now, I'm going to ask all three of you to speak after this final induction, so prepare your words. So now, Jamie Jackson, I'm speaking to you. You are my current focus. So Jamie, you have been proposed for membership and the club has elected you. Therefore, it is my pleasure to induct you to the Rotary Club of Plano West. I understand you are aware of Rotary requirements and will follow them. You have offered your services to assist your fellow Rotarians in their community and international projects. As you know, Rotary is a service club, each member performing what Rotary terms as service above self. Besides service, you will have the benefit of powerful bonds of friendship with fellow Rotarians locally and worldwide. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the four-way test, which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. When you travel, you have the special opportunity to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. This is another rewarding benefit of your membership. And now, by the power vested in me as president of the Rotary Club of Plano West, I am virtually pinning this Rotary emblem on you and declare you to be an active member of this Rotary Club. Welcome to Rotary, Jamie. We all look forward to the enrichment of our lives and your own, and by your association in the world's oldest, largest, and finest service organization, Rotary International.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I am going to, I'll let Jamie catch her breath because I just inducted her. So we're going to go to Michael because you were the first one. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael.
Sure. I am married to Janelle, who was inducted last week. We have done a number of, we've done a couple of projects so far, and we're planning to do a couple more for the Rotary. So we're super excited about that. We've been in Dallas for almost 3.5 years. We have 3 kids. I have twins who are 5 years old, and I have a 7-year-old daughter who has special needs. Besides that, we are trying to be super active in the community. We're active in our schools. We have our own business. We are in the real estate space here. We do a lot of single family homes for rent. So we're always buying if you have anything to sell. And generally, we're just super excited about being in the club. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for joining us, Michael. And so because Janelle's got a week on you, she's going to have to show you the ropes, right?
Exactly.
Train you. Kayla, tell us a little bit about yourself. I've always been giving these little tidbits. By the way, Debbie High told me to tell you, welcome back to Rotary, by the way. Share with who you are from the club.
Yes. First, before I forget, I want to say hi to Lisa Leach. I don't know if she remembers me from 10 years ago, but she was one of the first members I met in Plano West Rotary Club when I was 16, going to Plano West High School. So my Rotary journey started in Ryla for Camp Ryla, and I went back to camp as AC and on staff as well. And I was involved in Rotary throughout my undergraduate school and at A&M Corpus Christi. And then I became a Rotary Global Scholar and did my master's in Edinburgh at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. And when I came back to the States, I became an official Rotarian in Corpus Christi. And I recently moved back to Dallas last year, yes, in 2020. And I'm just now getting back in touch with my first Rotary Club, Plano West Rotary Club. So I'm really excited to become a member today and to get back involved in service projects and to get to know all of you. So thank you for welcoming me back.
You are welcome, and thank you for coming back to our club. Well, last but not least, Jamie, you've had all this time to think of your thoughts and what you're going to say in the big speech. So Jamie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am a native Texan, been here my whole life, specifically the DFW area, but I'm new to Plano. I've only been here since about July of 2019. Came a little bit, of course, before COVID hit, so I hadn't really got to get involved in a lot. I have 2 children. I have a 15-year-old who's a sophomore, and then I have a 5-year-old who's a first grader. And so I'm just really excited to join, excited to get involved, do some volunteer work. Hopefully if there's any things that kids can do, have them participate as well so that they can get into a life of volunteering also.
Excellent. And we need to give John Stafford a hard time because he's your Rotary sponsor and he's not here. Shame on you, John.
I was looking for him too.
he's usually here, so he's probably got a great reason.
Yes.
Well, welcome all 3 of you to the club. You will be contacted by most likely Mahir or some other members of our membership committee, and you probably have already talked to them, and they're going to be providing you with your new member kit, your own personal Rotary emblem for those that aren't Kayla that doesn't already have one, and kind of bring you up to speed on our whole new member orientation. So welcome to the club, everybody. Excited. I'm glad that a number of you have already participated in our service projects. I think through December, we're averaging about 7 a month. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to get involved. And I know all 3 of you are keenly interested in education, and probably at least 50% of our service projects are tied to Plano ISD. So I know all three of you are happy about that. We also do a lot with the city and other nonprofits as well. So welcome to our club. All right, what I'm going to do today is really turn it over to Glenn. Are you ready? You got your big speech going? He's going to play some instruments. He's got some backup dancers. No, seriously, Glenn's going to do our foundation moment. So take it away, Glenn.
Can you see me? Oh yeah, you can. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try to be quick. I think we might be running a little behind. So Alex wanted me to talk about district grants. And so for the last, I think like 5 years ago, Lisa might remember and Fred, but we realized, we took the grant training for the district and realized that there's this thing called, I call it free money. And that's a good thing. I'm not a financial guru, but free money sounds like a good thing. If we average $120 per member for a Rotary year, which is July 1 through June 30, then we qualify for this tier 1 grant that we have received every year we've applied for it. And it's a maximum of $3,500, and we've gotten to $3,500 as free money. It's a good thing. And so once again, this year we've applied, we got 2 applications in. The 2 areas we focus on with our applications for the grant are number 1, scholarships, and number 2, RILA. So scholarships, we provide multiple scholarships, $2,000 scholarships to graduating high school seniors. This last year we had 3. I think the year before we had 5. Well, a good part of this $3,500 that we asked for helps pay for those scholarships. It's free money. The second is RILA. It's a Rotary youth leadership camp that happens in non-COVID years. It happens in the summer, and you go for a week, and it's a great leadership. Several of our members have been to RILA, RILarians, I guess they call them. And so I know Fred has been part of RILA for, what, Fred, 87 years, something. How many years, Fred?
I've been on the staff for
10 years on the staff, yeah. It's a great, great program. And so part of that $3,500 that we asked for is also to help us sponsor 4 students to go to RILA for that week. And so we've turned this in again. We're hoping we get that again. We have for the last 5 years running. But the key is, and we're running out of time, the key is that to qualify, you have to average $120 per member giving to the foundation. And when we did that at first 5 years ago, we were like just a few $100 short. And so we took some money from our balloon festival proceeds and got us up to that point so we could get that. We applied, we got it. The next year we get $3,500, and we're like, well, we don't want to ever not do this, right? This is a good thing. Is that like a triple negative? Don't ever want to not do that. Let me rephrase that. We want to do this always. I'm not an English guru either. And so we're hoping to do that this year. We qualified for this last Rotary year, but I will say now that our club has grown quite a bit, which is awesome, 120 times 70 is greater than 120 times 25. I'm not a math guru either, but I'm pretty sure that's true. But we have more people. We have a lot of people to help give to that. And we've actually made a good start on giving to the foundation, but we want to continue with that. So that's all. That's my foundation moment for this week. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Glenn. What's interesting to note, as Glenn said, we use the Rotary Foundation locally for Camp RILA and our scholarships. And it just so happened, we just inducted somebody, Kayla, who has actually benefited from our Camp RILA and our scholarships. So it just tells you that's what, and I told Kayla, you are the poster child for Rotary Youth Services. You know, we consider our youth service program as an investment in the youth. Now, this isn't charity for the youth, it's an investment because we're trying to create future Rotarians. So the fact that Kayla has joined our club, that tells our investment from 10 years ago has played off. Well, we also have investments from Antonio Harris. He's a RILarian. We have, Zane. We have a number of our club members that aren't here today, but we all know them. Zane's a RILarian. Bianca's a RILarian. Jenny Orth is a RILarian. Samiam is a RILarian. Julia Lynn is our Illyrian, and she's also a scholarship recipient as well. Bianca was a scholarship recipient. So we now have 3 club members that we provided them a scholarship their senior year to go to college, and they now joined our club. That is the whole point of our scholarship program, is to invest in future Rotarians and in building leaders. So it's exciting seeing how our club is just proving in how the Rotary Foundation is benefiting us locally, and we're creating more Rotary leaders. You guys can't see the chat, but Kayla, go ahead and say a shout out to somebody who you've ridden in a vehicle with 10 years ago.
Fred.
Yes, hi Fred. I don't know if you remember me. I'm sure you do. But I just want to say thank you, and it's good to see you again.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, thank you very much, Glenn, for going through our foundation moment. Now I'm going to quickly go through our club business. Laura Johnson is the chair of our registration team, and they show up for every service project just for the first 15 minutes to check in our volunteers. Remember, we have about 7 projects a month. They make sure they're registered. We make sure we have the Rotary waiver, which everybody's familiar with. They go through the t-shirts, then they leave. Her team, they need more help because we do a lot of service projects, and we're kind of down to 2 or 3 people that are running all of them. So it's one of the easiest things you're going to do in the club because it's planned in advance. So you know when that service project is. Laura will basically make sure you know what you're doing. You show up, go through the process, which her and the team will train you, and you can leave. You don't even have to stay for the project. If you do, that's awesome. But we need more people on that team because, like everybody else, Laura's busy. She's got a full-time job. She's a parent, and she can't alone do every single project. And so please give her a call, send her a text. That's actually more useful, and let her know you're willing to help out. Also, on the 18th is the district roundtable of leadership. I encourage you to, it's a good way of knowing what's going on in North Texas Rotary. We have 66 clubs in our district. Our very own Glenn Thornton is involved in all this, and he will be more involved next year with Michelle as district governor aides. But they were, I think, Glenn, you're going to probably be there in person for everyone. Is that?
I will for next year. Well, Michelle and I will probably go back and forth with this year. I can't this month, but Michelle will be there. But I was there last week.
And so if you're there in person, you'll see Glenn or Michelle. They also have a hybrid component, so you could dial in. So you could, I encourage you to do it so you know what's going on. We have about 2,500 Rotarians in North Texas, and it's a good way of knowing what's happening in all these different Rotary clubs. I want to highlight our latest projects. We actually had 2 on Saturday. One I'll call a pop-up because it wasn't advertised, but just to give you a little background, one of our longtime club members, probably Chuck's 30 years, you guys think? Chuck Spence, he donates his downtown Plano office area. He's got a garage and parking lot. We permanently use that as a club for storing our funnel cage trailer and supplies. So we're talking about a big old trailer. This is a lot of room, where if we were renting it, it would be a few $100s a month. And he's done that, what, how many years?
Ever since I've been here, which is over
10 plus. And it's kind of one of the many unsung heroes of the club. Well, we also have the trailer there. We have all these supplies. Well, he also allows us to store all these shoes that we do with the shoe drive. You know, last year we collected up to 3,000 shoes. If you can imagine how much space is required for 3,000 shoes, another rental area that we don't have to pay for. And then every other week, we have our organized shoe drive team that they go there, and I think they organized over 500 shoes this Saturday. The most of the group are high schoolers. So if you've got high school kids that would like to get some volunteer hours, I encourage them to have them sign up. But once again, our club member Chuck, he allows us to use this space year after year after year. as well as every other week for the shoe drive. And so we're really beneficial. I mean, because if it wasn't that, one of you guys would be donating your garage for the shoes, and somebody would be finding space for that big old trailer. And it's a huge trailer, doesn't fit in a normal garage. So now the whole point in all that is, one, Chuck is awesome. A lot of our new members have not met him. We have not seen him since COVID. He's still a member of the club, and Zoom doesn't really fit with his schedule, but he's still, like I said, giving all the time. Well, with that, things break down. So our other amazing club member, Glenn, on his own, saw things that need to be repaired. Because we're getting free rent for at least a decade, the least we could do is to fix up this facility that we're able to use. So Glenn contacted some members that he knew like to build things and fix things. So they did that in the morning on Saturday to help do some repairs on Chuck Spence's storage facility that we use. And then afterwards, we had to organize shoe drive. So I think we had about 10 people there. Majority of them were high schoolers. And I was told they organized 525 pairs of shoes, which is phenomenal. That's a fifth of our goal of 2,500. So that's what we just previously did. So yay club for doing that. And then upcoming, quickly I'm going to go through. We've got our Bowman Middle School meal drive-through on the 16th. We have another organized shoe drive on the 18th. Armstrong Middle School meal drive-through on the 21st. We have a cleanup of Avenue K. That's a partnership with the Adopt a Highway program with the city of Plano. That's on the 25th. Then we have North Texas Pride. We're going to have volunteers. I think we need about 20 volunteers. I encourage you to sign up, and we're going to be supporting the North Texas Pride Come As You Are Festival. And then we're going to have another meal drive-through. It's at Rallison Natatorium. That's really, it's Williams High School. It's the city pool that's right next to Williams. A lot of people say, where is this Rallison? So that's on the 27th. And then we have the shoe drive. If you have used shoes, drop them off at the Wellness Center, which is at the Sam Johnson Senior Center from, I think, 9 to 7 now, Monday through Friday. And they have a box. So if you have used shoes, clear your closet. If you know people with used shoes, drop them off. The shoes are going to be shipped to undeveloped countries. They're going to, for micro entrepreneurs, they're going to resell them. We actually get a 40 cents per shoe back. So it's a tiny fundraiser that we're going to be using for to help us with our district grant qualification to the Rotary Foundation, as Glenn talked about, because we have a big number for us to be able to get that free number. So those are our projects. I am going to be quiet because the person we're really here to speak is our consummate volunteer, friend of the club, him, his wife, his adult children. A lot of us already know him, and now we call him Mayor John Muns. So I'm going to have our club member, LaShawn Ross, who kind of knows him a bit, is going to introduce our speaker. Take it away, LaShawn.
So it is really my pleasure to introduce Plano's 40th mayor today, John B. Muns, who has really deep roots in Plano. He has an extensive background focusing on educating Plano's children, served as a trustee on the Plano Independent School District Board for 16 years. Mayor Muns was born in Dallas, moved to Plano in 1970 with his family. He graduated from Plano Senior High in 1978 and went on to Abilene Christian University and earned a bachelor's degree in marketing and management. Mayor Muns is proud to have lived in Plano for more than 50 years, where he and his wife, Joa, have raised 4 children and now enjoy watching their own children raise their families right here in Plano. So Mayor Muns, we welcome you to Plano West Rotary Club, and we thank you for spending part of your day with us. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, LaShawn. Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you, LaShawn. Thank you, Alex, for also the opportunity. We've been volunteering for the Plano West Rotary long before I ran for Plano. So we're very excited that it continues, and we'll be back with you volunteering and delivering meals and whatever else we need to do. I do want to bring back one of the things that Antonio, I wanted to tell you, Antonio, I used to work for a company called Wyatt's Cafeterias, and long before your time, but we always had liver and onions out on the line every day because there's always one in a family, always one.
That's amazing.
So anyway, you have a lot of friends in the liver category, I can tell you that. I'm going to do most of what I've seen today with everybody participating and everybody joining us. I'm preaching to the choir, I think. So a lot of what I'm going to tell you, you already know. But I still want you to know what we're doing and how everyone that is a resident of Plano can be involved. I'm obviously delighted to be here. And since being elected mayor, my commitment for the city has been to listen to Plano citizens. That's been a real commitment to me. And in fact, this winter we're doing a listening tour for all sorts of people throughout the city of Plano, and not a town hall where I speak, but an opportunity to really sit there and listen to what you like about Plano, what you don't like about Plano, what we can do to improve those areas. And so I really want to commit that that's a real priority for me and the city, is to, even a city the size of Plano at 300,000 people, we still can be very local when it comes to working with diversity and inclusion, and making sure that even though we may not see them on a daily basis, that we're still making them a priority in whatever we do. So I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to make sure that our outreach is effective and gets a lot of people there in many different meetings. It won't be one or two or three. It'll be 20 or 30 meetings with smaller groups, so people will feel compelled to really open up and let us know how they feel about what we're doing and how we can improve upon it. We can go to the next slide. So go on to the next one. I went ahead and moved a little fast. So I'm proud to work alongside our Plano City Council. We work diligently to guide our city to achieve Plano's mission as a regional and national municipal leader. And obviously, our providing services and facilities through cooperative efforts and engage our citizens. And we want to contribute to the quality of life in our community. We're known as the City of Excellence. Our mission is to provide outstanding service through cooperative efforts with our citizens and contribute to their quality of life in our community. And Plano's excellence is why we're a world-class city. And we continue to strive to achieve that every day. Next slide. So year after year, Plano consistently earns numerous accolades, being one of the best places to live and work in Plano. We have a national reputation for a safe city, family-friendly city, and thriving city. And people want to come to Plano because of the quality of life, and it's the driving force of the high standard of living is through economic prosperity. Economic development is continuing to be one of our highest priorities as we seek to remain competitive and employment center for the region. And that's really one of our known entities here in Plano, is that we're a corporate community for a lot of large companies. And so by doing so, I've talked to a lot of our large corporate partners, and they all continue to say one thing, and that is Plano is where we come for high quality talent. The talent in Plano is so remarkable that it's becoming one of the main priorities why people want to come here. And so we continue to make sure that our education is at the highest level. These kids that do this you've heard of the internship program. these kids that go to work for some of these corporations during the summer are so talented that they're teaching a lot of the folks some new and integrated technology and things like that they didn't even know. So it's pretty remarkable how talented these kids are. Next slide. So here's a snapshot of how Plano remains competitive. 57% of our population has a bachelor's degree. Our cost of living is significantly lower than other metropolitan areas in the US. And I know a lot of you say, well, you know, the cost of home ownership has just gotten crazy. And yes, it really has. And a lot of that has a significant reason why people want to be here in Plano. And a lot of that is all the attributes that we were just talking about. And because of this low cost of living, it does make it a real attractive place for corporate relocations. Next slide. So we have 38 headquarters located in Plano, employing more than 30,000 individuals. Plano caters to headquarters because they are more stable and they bring desirable and higher quality employment. We're truly an employment center with big corporations we have in Plano. We also have small businesses, and we want to make sure that business feel welcome here in Plano and are happy in Plano. And we try to be open for business, making sure that we are easy to work with, that we in Plano can make it real possible for a small business to come here to Plano, put their roots down and be successful. And so it's a real priority for us to make sure that we do that as well. And as you can see in this slide, we have diversified business footprint, which helps us weather the storm during economic downturns. However, a strong economy is not the only reason why people want to be here. Plano offers amazing amenities. So next slide, please. So Plano Libraries, we have 5 libraries across Plano. In 2020, 3.5 million items were checked out from our libraries. So if you think they may be something that we're not using as much, it's amazing to see that 661,000 people visited our libraries last year. Our libraries are more than books. It's a valuable resource and partner that connects and serves our community. So we have in our libraries, we have genealogy centers, financial classes, we have family play groups, science, tech, engineering, art, and math-based learning, and so much more. So we do understand that our libraries do a whole lot more than just have hard copy books, that we really do try to have something for everybody in regards to education and resources. Next slide, please. Our Plano Farms. This is one that I'm really proud of, and it goes back many decades when Plano was small, when I just had gotten here in the late 60s, early 70s. And the forefathers that created Plano as we know it today were committed to putting parks by developments all throughout this area. And what's amazing is we have parks all across Plano that are within a mile of anyone that lives in Plano. And during the pandemic, parks played an essential role in our city. Plano relied on our close to home parks, trails, open spaces, exercise, and connect with nature. And in fact, in 2021, the Trust for Public Lands named Plano Park System as the best in Texas and 15th best in the nation. Next slide. So as you can see, these are, we have 70 parks and 90 miles of bike and hiking trails. We have bikes all across parks all across the city. And in fact, 75% of our population is within a 10-minute walk from any Plano park. And that's a great credit to this leadership I was just talking about, that over the years, that commitment has continued, and we're really proud of that. Next slide, please. And not only do we have a vibrant youth of kids and young couples, and we also have a great opportunity for our senior resources. And Plano also offers a multitude of services for our seniors. Our website has an easy to use search platform and to assist in finding what you're looking for. Plano.gov/senior resources. I believe there it is up at the top. Next slide, please. We also have Sam Johnson Recreational Center for adults 50 and above. I believe that includes me. And this is a great gathering place for anyone 50 or older to learn exercise, meet people, and other social activities that are involved for those of us that are slowing down a bit. Next slide. So we have all the world-class amenities and economic successes, but it wouldn't mean anything without our people. And I've lived in Plano almost my entire life, and I can say it's people like you folks here today that make Plano such a wonderful place to live in. The future is bright in Plano, and I look forward to continued success of the city. And we proudly call Plano the City of Excellence, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you so much for having me. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Oh, yes, ma'am.
I love the park system. I love the libraries. It's fantastic. We've been in Plano for 26 years now. And it's been so great that Plano has continued to focus on that. But I want them to continue. I want you to continue to focus on that. But I'm concerned about aging infrastructure.
Yeah.
Do you have a concern about that? What's going on with that?
So that was a big part of the bond issue, was over $250 million in infrastructure for just the bones of some of Plano, that not all of it. I think what we figured was somewhere around $5 billion it would take $5 billion to be able to cover our entire infrastructure. But we're trying to bite off as much as we can and still be, financially responsible. Yes, we have a lot of.
Could you repeat her question a little bit?
Did you guys hear the question about our infrastructure? We were talking about how parks and libraries and rec centers are great, but what about the aging infrastructure of Plano? And we obviously are concerned about that as well. We want to make sure that we make it possible for those that want to come into areas of Plano that have aged to a certain degree, but have the infrastructure and the bones that refurbishing or renovation or coming up with a new project that maybe is in an older area is possible and very probable. As you know, that's what we're doing at Collin Creek Mall. Hopefully we have put a huge commitment together to make that infrastructure work, not only for the developer, but for everything underneath that needed to be replaced. The city of Plano is putting that culvert back in and replacing it after 60 years. And so these kind of things are big commitments to us. We have had a lot of discussions with Washington in regards to who gets this infrastructure money regarding this bill that has just passed. And so we'll work really hard to see areas that we can show that we could use that money for these areas. And so we'll continue not only to use the bond money that we passed in May, but we will also apply for infrastructure money with Washington as well.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a comment, I guess, a thank you, Mayor Muns. So in relation to the infrastructure, I live in the area where the street overlays have gone in along Parker, and I guess it's Independence near Plano Senior High School. And it is just a very nice ride for whatever that overlay is. And I know there've been a couple of iterations, but it's nice to see. And, you know, when I'm in other cities, it is so obvious that planning and executing makes the difference in terms of the infrastructure. So I just want to say thank you. I know you can't do it all at one time, but we are enjoying parts of that as we go along.
Well, thank you for saying that. I really want you to know, and there is possibly a little confusion that all we've done is just blacktop that road. What we have done is repaired the integrity of the concrete that's underneath it. And once we do that, we do put the topper on top of that. And what that does is it dispels water from entering into the concrete part of the road. And obviously it's a much smoother ride, but it's also one that repairs and can avoid, you know, the pothole issues and things like that. So what I've learned is it's not just a cosmetic change, but it really does repair the issue for a longer term. So we're really pleased so far of what we're seeing.
What's the favorite part of your job?
Well, the question was, what's the favorite part of my job? I actually enjoy this probably more than the council meetings, but I do enjoy being out with you folks and talking to you about Plano and how much you love it, or what we can do to make it better. And I think the people, as I said earlier, they make this such a wonderful job. I know a lot of people ask, why would you run for office? And the only office that I would run for would be for the city of Plano. And I have no intention of leaving or going anywhere else or doing anything else. So I want you to know that it's the people of Plano that have made this such a wonderful 5-6 months so far, and I look forward to the rest.
We appreciate it. Yep.
Glad to be here.
Any other questions? Wow. Well, I've got a biased question.
Okay.
So, Mr. Muns, Mr. Mayor, how many other Rotary clubs do you volunteer with?
Why'd you put him on the spot, Alex?
Alex, I would be more than happy to volunteer with all of them, but yours is the only one that I have volunteered with. So now I'm in big trouble. Thank you.
Well, we challenge and we encourage those other Rotary clubs to put on some service projects so you could spread it out.
Okay.
Alex trying to slap it down.
Okay, you may have to do that challenge, not me.
I always do. but that's just a lead in. With you and Joy, you've been volunteering with us for years, and it's awesome. Jenna as well, and just, our volunteers is what makes our club amazing, whether they join or not. And I did request him to join our club, and he denied, but we still love him because he said no to join, and he keeps on volunteering, and that means more to me than just having somebody sign on a dotted line. And we really appreciate your service in the community before, during, and after mayor.
Well, the proof's in the work that you guys do, and I've seen it firsthand, whether it be, food insecurity or Christmas presents for kids that may not have anything. And it's amazing because you guys walk the walk. You don't just talk about it, you do it. And that's why, it's such an honor to be a part of you guys. And we'll continue to help because we know that as great Plano is, we still have issues, and we have people like you that want to come and help and help those that are in real need, and we can't thank you
Well, thank you, Mayor. Well, what I want to point out is that, yes, clap hands, yes. You and Joe are awesome. And I was glad that you got to witness. I mean, no offense, I like the mayor, but his wife, anybody that knows Joa, she's just one super amazing woman. And so let her know that, but she knows. She's been a friend for years.
But I will tell her, I will. No, I offered the mayor to her before I. She's much more qualified.
I'm glad that you got to witness the induction of our 69th member of our club. So you should know, as mayor, you have been volunteering with not only the largest of the 6 Rotary clubs in Plano, but we're the 8th largest Rotary club in North Texas. And we're the fastest growing Rotary club in the United States of 7,500 clubs. And that only happened through service, that you participated in. So thank you very much. One thing we do for all of our speakers is an appreciation. Instead of doing a doodad speaker gift, we want to do something that makes a difference. And Rotary's nonprofit is the Rotary Foundation. And for the last 40 years, our global service project has been the eradication of polio. And we are so close. There's 2 countries left, Pakistan and Afghanistan, that have had minimum polio cases this calendar year. And so in appreciation of your time and program, Plano West Rotary, we're going to donate $10 in your name to the Rotary's Polio Plus Fund. And together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, that $10 will turn into $30, which will provide a polio vaccine for about 50 children. And for those that don't know, Rotary is, because really the vaccination of polio is really in 3rd world countries. That's because, developing nations like the United States, we get that knocked out. So really we're focusing on the areas of the world that need help. And so Rotary is using our polio infrastructure to aid in the vaccination of COVID-19. Because as I said many times before, we're at our levels of, depending on where you're at, between 50 to 70% vaccination rate. The rest of the world, 4%. So there's a lot of need for COVID vaccination and infrastructure. So your donation, Mayor Muns, will support not only polio, but also COVID-19. So thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you. I couldn't think of a better gift than something like this. So I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. And keep on volunteering with us.
You know I will.
Just so everybody knows, you don't know this, but even after he got elected mayor, he and Joa still volunteer with us at least once a month. So they continue with it. And I think that's so powerful. Thank you very much, Mayor Muns.
Thank you.
Next week, we are going to have what I call a fun program. It's called the Guardians of Asian Art. And Amy Hoffland of the Crow Museum is going to be our speaker. We don't know, because we are hybrid, we never know how our speakers are going to be. So I don't know if she's going to be in person or in Zoom. We will make it work. But I encourage everybody to participate because it's going to be a really good subject. And it's, has anybody seen the Guardians of Asian Art here? Because I know we do have some art. See, I see somebody back there. So we have some arts aficionados. So it'll be nice to hear about it as a club. And what I'm going to do now is ask that Catherine, she's going to lead us in the 4-way test as we close out our meeting.
The 4-way test for the things we think, say, or do. Number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Rotary. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week and stay safe and healthy.